Now I'm going to be keeping this video a lot less structured than some of my other videos. Still going to be structured, don't get me wrong. There's going to be editing, there's going to be talking through photos, pictures, but not too many, things like that. If you see this in the background, which I hope you do and I know you do, this is like my part of my Mickey Mantle wall. It's some of the mantle collection that I have. I've owned quite a few of his cards in the past, graded and ungraded, but as a collector, what I like to do is I will collect things, I will trade things, I will get other things. It's a constant in process type thing with being a collector for over 40 years anyway, and we'll leave it at that. But with what you see back here on the wall, that is untouchable. I am not trading this, I'm not getting rid of this. This is part of my own personal collection here that I wanted to share with you. We're going to be going through some Harry Caray memorabilia. Met Harry Caray at Wrigley Field a couple times. I think I may have mentioned in my Rush video, and I don't know if I did or not. I had an autographed copy of Harry Caray's Holy Cow book from Harry Caray that I got at Wrigley Field. I don't know if I shared this or not, but I was able to get that book to bassist Geddy Lee of Rush. I got it to him here in Rockford when we got the band to play. Watch that video if you want all the background on that. Got the book to him through Howard Ungerleider, who was the band's first, I believe, tour manager, but he's a lighting director. Has been forever. Went up to him on the floor, was introduced to him through some friends, told him I had got the book for Geddy. Would you please give it to him? I gave the book to him. He said, he put it in his bag. He said, I'll make sure he gets it. A year later, maybe 2 years later, I think it was about the next year, I met up with him again in Milwaukee. I asked him about it. He said, yeah, he gave him the book. So Geddy Lee of the band Rush has an autobiography, Holy Cow, by Harry Caray, given to him by yours truly, Mike, Extra Cheese, here on the Extra Cheese channel. That's just one story that I totally forgot. I don't think I even shared that in my Rush video. If you haven't seen that, go and look at that one. That's an awesome video for those of you who are music or big fans of the band Rush. Anyway, I'm going to be taking it through my room, some of my personal collection, and just showing you and sharing with you some memories of how I got these autographed baseballs and pictures and how I got to meet like Pete Rose, Ryne Sandberg, Ron Santo. It's three of my favorites. Let's go. Let's do this. Just looking back at that video I just shot, I realized I really didn't get a whole lot of the Mickey Mantle wall in there. You sure got a whole lot of my headshot though. Yeah, this is the Mickey Mantle wall, and with all the glares included in the background and the camera as well. This is the Mickey Mantle wall. This is one of the very first pieces I got when I started collecting again, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago as more of an adult. This is a really nice piece that I like too, Sports Collector's Digest, autographed by Mickey Mantle and Eddie Matthews and the artist Ron Lewis as well. This is a really cool piece. I really enjoy this one. It's very unique, and I don't think there's too many of them that actually exist. And just a photo of the Mick as well. So I just call this my Mickey Mantle wall, and you can't have a Mickey Mantle wall without Casey Stengel. Casey Stengel, the manager of the New York Yankees when the Mick played, started off as a rookie, played a lot of his seasons under him. Hall of Famer, lots of glare. There's his autograph right there. There he is. I just thought this was a unique piece. I'm the one that had it framed and everything, and I put it all together with my wife's assistant. She's got the good taste, and so that's part of the man room. Yes, Mike Extra Cheese is his personal autographed memorabilia on the wall. So I wanted to start this out just by showing you a photo. Believe it or not, that guy, well, you know the guy in the middle, that's Harry Caray. Famous Chicago Cubs broadcaster, also was with the St. Louis Cardinals for a great number of years, decades actually, and spent time with the White Sox and at least 1 year with the Oakland Athletics, the Oakland A's as a broadcaster. Harry was the guy that taught me how to love baseball. When he first came to the Cubs in the early 80s, that was my exposure to Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN TV. His was the voice that I grew up hearing, and when I hear it today, it brings back such memories. I watched so many Cubs games with Harry Carey at the mic, and Steve Stone, Milo Hamilton, Ron Santo. I mean, the memories just go on and on and on with this guy. If you have never heard Harry Carey, or if you've never heard him broadcasting a baseball game, I highly, highly encourage you to go onto YouTube and find footage. It's everywhere of this man right here, who was just a legendary broadcaster, Hall of Famer broadcaster, broadcasting games. He just had a way about him. He was so wonderful with fans. Back to this picture, because I'll just get too involved in all that. That's me. That is me with Harry Carey. It was after a Cubs game. Bob, I'm going to give you a shout out. Bob, a good friend of mine. We used to go to Cubs games a lot back in the 90s, and we took it upon ourselves to track down these people. And it wasn't hard. You just waited until after the game, and Harry was coming down the concourse. This right here, you see my finger? That's the concourse. So Harry would come down there from his broadcast booth and here, and this is where I met him. I have video of this. I hope to find that video. I even hope to find a VHS player to play that video, because this whole thing is captured on tape. It was more than just me. Bob was able to talk to him as well. I'm going to show you the program that Harry autographed for me. This is an actual shot. I have video proof. I have photo proof of Harry Carey's autograph on this program. We would just have a ball going. We would to watch the Cubs play, Bob and I, and we would bring friends with us and family. I know my brother went with us. Bob had a friend, I think his name was Dean, that went with us from time to time, at least once. We also brought another coworker. His name was Bill. And those stories are just etched in my memory. And I'm glad I'm vlogging this, because this will show not only you, the viewer, but I like doing these also that my grandkids can grow up seeing these types of things, and my kids as well. So there's Harry Carey. This is probably back. You know what? I'll tell you exactly when it was, because on the program was the day. It was Harry Carey. Had something to do with Harry Carey, so it's dated. I will tell you in a moment. We're going to go to the autographed materials after I go through these pictures and speak into them a little bit. Harry Carey after the game, great memory. So, Peter Edward Rose, the hit king, the all-time hit king of baseball, passed up Ty Cobb, all-time hits. This, my wife and I and Pete Rose, this is probably, oh gosh, when was this? Back in 2014, I'm going to say. We met Pete Rose in Las Vegas. I will show you that ball that he is presenting to us in this frame, in this photo that he signed. Pete was just cool. This is what I want to tell you about Pete Rose. Pete Rose, born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio, came from a working class background. Read his books, all the information is in there. Pete Rose is a working man's ball player. I'm telling you, this guy here gave 110% every time he played a game. He should be and will be in the Hall of Fame. He's been in the Fans Hall of Fame since he retired. He's been in this baseball Fans Hall of Fame since he retired. But he's physically, for real, going to get in there very soon now that the ban was lifted. You know, it is what it is, folks. Pete knew he'd get in after he died. The fans knew he'd get in after he died. However you feel about this, it's going to happen. I remember Pete had a memory like you wouldn't believe, was telling me stories about how when the Rockford had a minor league baseball team. They had several of them. This is out at Marinelli Field back in the day. They were called the Rockford Reds. Pete told me all about it. He refreshed my memory. He said, yeah, I remember when I flew into Chicago and they drove me down to Rockford, and I went down there for a Rockford Reds baseball game, and I was a guest there and signed autographs for everybody. I'm thinking, oh my gosh. This guy had a great memory in the stories that he shared. I wish I remembered them all. It was like rapid fire. He was just a decent human being to be around, and just loved the game and loved the fans. Also, I can tell you this, when I shook this guy's hand, the strength he had in that handshake, wow. I was just blown away by it. I figured he could probably still swing the baseball bat then, and probably was. And yeah, once you're a baseball player, I guess you're always a baseball player. But I can't say enough about Pete Rose. He's just such a decent human being, and really knew how to treat his fans. We happened to be in Las Vegas at the time when Ryan Sandberg was one of the guest autographed people. In fact, I can tell you this was probably right after the Cubs, or right before the Cubs. Let me see. I can't remember. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember if the Cubs had won the World Series yet. They had. The Cubs had won the World Series. This is right after 2016. So this is probably early 2017 of January when this photo was taken, my wife and I and Ryan Sandberg. Let me tell you something about Ryan Sandberg. One of the humblest, best soft-spoken. I mean, he's talking to us. He's talking to you like I'm talking to you, just in a normal voice, makes eye contact with you. That smile is 100% genuine. Ryan Sandberg was just a wonderful, wonderful human being. Now, look, I'm sure he had his faults about him and all this and that, but I never heard one rotten thing written about the guy. And as far as sports writers go, you can research this yourself. And I know I say that a lot because I want to encourage you, when you see things like this, really look this stuff up. Fact check me. Look it up for yourself. I'm telling you about the experience I had with him when I met him. And that impression to me has lasted up until this day. This is 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago. Rhino was just an awesome human being. He passed away recently of prostate cancer. You know, the reality of it is at some point we're all going to go. And it was Rhino's turn to go. And you know, he fought it. He lost his battle with it, but he left memories behind for fans like me. And hopefully for you too watching this. It was great. I'm going to show you this baseball as well. He put a couple inscriptions on it. Ryan Sandberg, Chicago Cubs, Hall of Fame, second baseman. What a pleasure it was to meet him. I often laugh at this and the picture before I say to my wife, you know, I did this wrong. I should have had you sit next to him. And when I look back at these pictures and I think, gosh, how selfish of me. You know, both pictures, my wife is standing up in the background. I think she should have been sitting down next to these people. I could have talked to him just as easily, you know. And if we ever get an opportunity to do something like this again, I'll remember, and I'm sure she'll remind me as well. But it really should have been her sitting next to him. You know, I get it. I was a fan. I'm the super geeked out fan, but you know, just as the right thing to do. So sorry about that again, hon. I won't let it happen. This is the last time. It won't happen again. So here's the Pete Rose ball. And there's the picture I just showed you. I have this in one of my my back bedrooms. This is the office area where basically I show you all these pictures on the computer screen. There's the Pete Rose ball. Also notice next to this, I'm going to tell you a little story. That's Mike Singletary, who signed this football that my wife got. We were at a celebrity softball game here in the Homestead area, and he signed this football, threw it behind him. It landed on top of a dugout of the stadium we were in, and my wife beat out a couple of younglings to get the ball. In fact, she was very adamant about it. She goes, that's mine, that's mine. They kind of looked at her like, okay, lady, it's all yours. That's the baseball. Still in the condition it was in when he signed it, quite frankly. And there's the picture that I just showed you, and that's where it's kept, right here. All right, so here is the Harry Caray Cubs quarterly autographed program. Now this one, I'm going to just zoom in on this, I think. Maybe I'm not going to zoom in on this. What am I doing? There we go. Now it's zooming in. This one came out April of 1994. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I cannot tell you if that was the same time I went to the game or if I had bought this program. I think I had it already with me. I didn't buy it there at the game day of. I already had it with me and brought it with me, knowing intentionally that I was going to seek him out and see if I could acquire the autograph or not. But what he wrote and what he would write, and I'm going to fix this, that says, "Holy cow, Harry Caray." Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this. There it is. Holy cow. Harry Carey. Wow. Looking at it close up like this is really cool. This is really cool. Because I showed you the picture of him signing it. Let me just set it there. Let me see. Hopefully it won't fold out on me. Sorry for the sloppiness of this, folks. My finger getting in the way. Yeah. Okay, so there it is. Holy cow, Harry Carey. And, you know, this guy was so accommodating to his fans. He never wanted to pass up any kind of requests for his autograph. It was straighten that out a little bit. And thanks, too, for bearing with me. I know that some of these edits, you know, may look a little shaky, a little sloppy. Yeah, I'm learning, you know, but the thing of it is, if you were over here in my my room right now, you know, where I keep all this stuff, I'd be doing it the same way. I'd be handing it off to you or showing it to you, and, you know, things shake in life, right? So that is the Harry Carey autograph program. I keep this, I'm going to zoom out again. I keep this in a somewhere secluded, let me put it that way, on my music stand. I keep this on my music stand. No, I keep this somewhere safe. It's boxed away, it's put up. I never let this see the light of day, which is why it's in the condition it's in. And I would tell you that if you're going to start autograph collecting, you got to keep these things out of the light. I know it's really tempting to put them out, but if it's got some kind of value to you, if you had an autograph that you want to keep pristine like this, you got to keep it out of the light, or you have to preserve it in some kind of UV light reflective glass, right? That's how you keep these things looking nice. Everything I'm going to show you has been kept that way. I want to show you something that I ran across while looking for this. This is another story, happened in Las Vegas. I forgot all about this. Now we're going to do another little variant here instead of focusing on baseball. And we've touched a little bit on football too with Mike Singletary. Again, while in Las Vegas, my wife and I were hailed over to an area where there was a professional boxer signing autographs. Well, there was no one around him at the time. We made eye contact, and he said, you know, give us one of these, come on over here. Well, we ended up talking to him for about, I would say about 10 minutes, to be honest with you. This guy was amazing. His name was Ernie Shavers. Ernie Shavers turned professional in 1969. He was known as one of the hardest hitting heavyweights ever. And it turned out that he was also a pastor, so we had something in common. Him being a legit ordained minister, myself being a legit worship pastor, worship minister, lay minister. But this guy was doing it more or less for, I would say, I'm going to guess a monetary living. I'm just assuming this, maybe not, but he's pastor. So we made a connection right away based on talking about Jesus and the Bible. Let me tell you why this is so amazing. I'm going to pause this here. I want to show you a few more things. Now, he handed this to me on the way out. He just kind of pushed it over to me. He said, here, why don't you take one of these? And this is what I got. I got this piece of paper, I thought. So you notice the fold marks in it? Didn't think nothing of it. Folded it up, put it in one of my pockets. Off we went. Had I read this, had I really paid attention, I'm going to zoom in on this. Autograph signing opportunity, meet and greet event, 10 to 11 p.m., Okay, so Ernie Shavers was the guest. Let me put this down a little bit more. There's some contact information. I'm sure it's not valid anymore. I unfolded this in my pocket. Look what I found on it. Oh, this is back in 2011 then. He had signed this for me. He must have signed several of them and was blessing people. So I have an Ernie Shavers autograph from 2011, which is when it happened. Had no idea he did this. Folks, he was doing this for part of his job at the time. He didn't have to do this. He didn't have to give it to me and my wife because we were both talking to him, but he did. It's the only boxing autograph I have, and if there was one that I had to have, I'm so glad it was this guy. Ernie Shavers was the real deal. I want to show you some of the people this guy boxed. I'm just going to do this old school. I'm going to open it up in front of you. I'm going to put it right here. Muhammad Ali said, Ernie hit me so hard, he shook my kinfolk back in Africa. Larry Holmes, of all the fighters I ever fought, including Mike Tyson, nobody could punch harder. Shaver's punches numbed your bones. Ernie was in a league all of his own. Randall Tex Cobb, Ernie could punch you in the neck with his right hand and break your ankle. Oh boy. If I had to be hit by Ernie Shavers or George Foreman, I would rather not be hit by either. But if I had to be hit by someone, let it be George Foreman. I'm telling you, these are the people he fought. This man fought Muhammad Ali. Okay, Ernie Shavers. Remember that? Ernie Shavers. Actually made up this little display. I got these separately. Hall of Fame 2012. Of course, he passed away. And I believe, Jesus, the same year he passed away, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Another baseball that Mr. Santos signed probably at the same time. Yeah, I'm showing you a little display area. We got Gary Matthews, the Sarge, right there. Jorge Soler, Chicago Cub. Pan over here. Replica World Series ring. Oh, there's a picture I showed you there. Where is the ball? There's the Ryne Sandberg ball. There it is. There's the Ryne Sandberg ball. Let me get a better. Scraping the guitar. 84 National League MVP, 10-time All-Star he put on that ball. And there he is. That's the moment that he signed it. Chris Bryant, Major League debut, 4/17/15. I'm going to tell you a funny story about this ring. My wife got this off of Marketplace, and we had to go to, I think it was a Walgreens. She said, yeah, the guy's going to meet us at Walgreens and get this ring. So a guy pulls up in a truck. She goes, there he is. I walk over to this guy. He looks at me, and he's like, yeah. I said, yeah, you got something for me? It's just like a mafia movie. He says, no, I don't got nothing for you. And you know why? Because it was the wrong guy. Then the right guy pulls up, and my wife got a great laugh out of that. I tell you, I'm glad it worked out the way it did. What if the guy had pulled out a piece and said, yeah, buddy, I got something for you? Yeah, thank God it didn't go down like that, you know. I was so embarrassed, all I could do was laugh. I'll never forget the look on it. I said to the guy, oh, man, I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to meet a guy here who's supposed to give me this ring off a Marketplace. I'm sorry about that. He got a chuckle out of it. It all ended well. Thank the Lord, you know. But yeah, you got something for me, you know, like some kind of drug drop or something. Thank God he wasn't a detective, you know. I would have been in some real trouble. He probably would have gone with it and say, you know, I don't even want to tell you how that could have turned out. But anyway, so I just wanted to spend some time showing you through my baseball memorabilia. Hope you enjoyed this video. It may not be your thing, but maybe it is your thing. I don't know. As the weather starts to clear up, we're going to get out of the house. We're going to get outside. We're going to hit the road. We're going to show you so many things in the Midwest area. We got a lot of adventures coming up. As the weather gets warmer, it gets so much easier to get out there because things start to open up. And then you can start to visit the places that I want to visit. We're going to have a lot of fun with this year. There's so many places we're going to hit. I mean to tell you, don't miss this. You're not going to want to miss this. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for looking at the videos. The numbers keep going up. I'm just kind of blown away by it for 2 months and such a small sample of videos, 23, 24 videos. I'm really glad that this is going as well as it is. Thanks again, everyone. We'll see you at the next video. Take care.